3, 2, 1.
Hi everyone, welcome. Hi everyone, today this is SGLED's first Amazon Live video, so we're just going to talk about some of our regular bulbs for in the home or outside the porch or something. So we're just going to go through some of the specifications and features of the bulbs, and today with us we have a small 8-watt version, 12-watt version, and the 16-watt version. So as you can see kind of in a minute, all the sizes are different, but they all kind of have the same kind of shape and functions too. So first of all, we're just going to go through some of the specifications and kind of the color temperature, stuff like that of each bulb. So I'll just introduce each bulb and then we can kind of get through the video and kind of use them, put some lampshades on these bulbs and kind of see what they can be used for around the home. So first of all, this is the 8-watt bulb. So as you can see, it's really tiny actually. Just in my hand there, you can see it's really small, especially in comparison to my hand. So the shape of this bulb is an A15 bulb. So A15 is actually a very small shape, especially for a bulb. The good thing about all of these bulbs is they're all A shape. So this is kind of the regular pear-shaped bulb. It's just that the diameter is different on each bulb, as you can see. So first of all, we'll talk about 8 watts. So the 8-watt bulb is A15, and A15 is actually a really small size. So the 15 here, you can see on the diameter, makes it really small. So an A15 rated bulb is kind of really small compared to a regular size bulb, as this would be an A19, and it's kind of a regular size bulb. So the 12-watt version is a A19, so it's quite a bit bigger in diameter, especially in comparison to the 8-watt version, which is A15. So A19 is kind of much bigger in diameter in comparison to A15. And then we can kind of look at the larger version, the 16-watt bulb. As you can see, this is actually quite a lot bigger, again, even in comparison to the regular size bulb. So this is an A21. A21 is actually quite a big diameter of bulb, especially in comparison to regular bulbs. So for any LED bulb, this is kind of one of the biggest and widest bulbs you can get. So now we're just going to kind of go through some of the specifications and general things of each bulb, and then we can start kind of using them and show what they can do, especially inside a lampshade. So this is the 8-watt bulb. This puts out a beam of 5000 K, and it has a E26 base. So the E26 base means it can be installed kind of just anywhere regularly around the home. So it's really simple to install. You just screw it in, especially with the simple base, and then it can kind of go anywhere around your home. So the beam that comes out from this light is 5000 K and 800 lumens. So 800 lumens is actually quite bright, even for such a small bulb. As you can see on the top of it, on the heatsink, there's actually still quite a lot of LED chips, so there will still be a lot of light coming out from this bulb. Now we can kind of take a look at the 12-watt version. The 12-watt version is also 5000 K with a E26 base, so it still can be installed anywhere around the home, basically. It's just that it has a few more lumens, almost double, so it has 1600 lumens, so it's double the amount of lumens, but there's actually still using less wattage, so it's not double the power for double the wattage, double the power for double the lumens. You get double the lumens just for kind of a slight increase in power usage, so this is really great and shows the kind of efficiency of the design. So 1600 lumens is actually quite substantially bright. You can kind of use that even outside on the porch, especially in an enclosed fixture. And then the largest bulb we have here is the 16-watt version. The 16-watt has 2200 lumens. So as you can see from the very wide surface area of the heatsink, there's a high number of chips kind of attached all over the heatsink. So there's a lot of light coming out from these bulbs. And later we'll kind of install it screw it in here with the E26 base too, and then we can kind of take a look and show you what they're all about. So you'll kind of see the effect and the brightness of each bulb. So now we're just going to kind of go through the design and the kind of technology used for each bulb. So I'll bring up the regular 12-watt one for this, so you can kind of get a better picture of the design and stuff. So first of all, as you can see, there's a hollow body. Each bulb has this same design, so you can see they all have a similar design. It's just kind of the power rating is different. So the hollow body is used again for promoting air convection and promoting heat dissipation, along with the ceramic heatsink. So this is about moving heat away when it's down here. So it's about moving heat away from the LED chips on the top of the bulb all the way through the body, so the air can come through with air convection and blow this heat away. So it's kind of about just reducing the heat within the bulb and prolonging the life of the bulb. Now we can kind of go into the COC technology, so I'll kind of use the bigger bulb for this, the 16 watt. As you can see here around the side and at the top, it's a ceramic heatsink. So the ceramic heatsink is used just for directly attaching the LED chips away from the chips down through the body of the light to prolong the life, because kind of heat is the enemy of LEDs. So just as long as you're kind of removing this away from the bulb, this is the best idea, so kind of get the heat away. Now we can kind of go into the most kind of special part of the bulbs and their design. So actually these are temperature adjustable. So this means, because they're temperature adjustable, it means each of them can be used within an enclosed fixture. So the temperature adjustable chip would be a OTC, so it's like a temperature protection chip. You can't actually see it on the video, but it will be within the body of the bulb on the PC board inside the light. So this chip kind of senses the temperature increase, as the temperature will increase around the light within an enclosed fixture, and then if the temperature reaches 150 degrees, which is kind of the maximum temperature, the light will gradually begin to reduce the current and the power and then the brightness of the bulb to kind of stop the heat from affecting the light. So it's kind of it works pretty basically. It just kind of senses a heat increase and then reduces the power and the lumens to kind of counteract this heat, so it can carry on working fine within an enclosed fixture. But it's kind of important also to note and remember that just because it's going to reduce the lumens and the power, the reduction will be kind of around 10% or maybe less. So actually, if you reduce lumens by 10%, to the naked eye, this isn't really, you won't be able to see it. So even though it's reducing the power and the lumens, the quality of the light won't really be affected, especially if it's outside your home or within your home. So with a 5000K beam at say 2200 lumens, if you take this down by 200 lumens of kind of 10% or 220 lumens as 10%, the reduction is quite minimal, so your eyes won't be able to sense this, but it is actually happening. So this is important just to note, just in case you do measure it or something. So if you put them in an enclosed fixture, they will adapt, and the brightness and everything and the power will reduce gradually from the protection chip. But it won't affect any of your lighting quality or kind of the look it's giving your home. So this is kind of a really cool design, and it's really unique. I haven't seen many LEDs that can really do this. Actually, it's kind of, there's not many LED enclosed fixture rated bulbs. So this is kind of the best aspect of these bulbs and why you kind of should buy them. So we're just going to speak about the shapes of the bulbs now in a bit more detail. So obviously, before we mention this, the 8 watt is very small. It's at A15. 12 watt is a A19 and the 16 is a A21. So obviously you can see this is the biggest one. This one is kind of a regular size bulb, and this is actually very small. So actually they all have their uses, and they kind of all have their kind of good, unique looks about them. So as you can see, this one is obviously very micro. Although it's very small because it's A19, the light output is actually really high. So we'll kind of plug it in a moment, and you can kind of see how bright it really is. It's kind of shocking actually how bright it is compared to the size. So we're just going to speak about A19 and A21. So if the A19 is actually a regular size bulb, so it's kind of, the A is the pear shape, and then the 19 kind of is a diameter. As you can see here, it's kind of a regular kind of width on the bulb. So I also have another brand's A19 shape, A19 shape and size bulb. So as you can see here, the A19 is it's similar to the other bulbs. It's a regular size bulb. You can kind of input this anywhere in most common lampshades too, as it's not too big. So this is kind of suitable, and it's designed for everywhere around the home. So now we can kind of speak about the A21. So A21 is actually a very big bulb, especially in comparison to an A19. We'll kind of take a look in a moment, but these are two A21 bulbs. So as you can see, this is kind of, they're very big in size and diameter especially. But kind of it's kind of designed this way on purpose. So we'll go into that in a moment. I'll just compare the A19, which is a regular size bulb, to the A21, which is it's bigger than regular size bulb. So obviously the A19 is regular, so it can be used within kind of lampshades like this, or lampshades like this, just kind of any regular lampshade. But the A21 will be too big for especially regular lampshades. So we won't be using this within a lampshade, as we don't have the kind of large size one today, but this one can be used in kind of specific lampshades that are suitable for A21 size bulbs. So now we'll go into kind of a description about A21. So the A21 is actually is designed specifically to be wide in diameter. The A21 design for a LED is actually quite useful because the larger you can get the surface area on the heatsink, the kind of better it will be at moving heat away from the LED chips. So again, it's about promoting heat dissipation and kind of air convection, reducing heat within the bulb. So a larger diameter bulb, especially like this with an A21 and a very large heatsink, actually makes the heat dissipation properties much easier, especially compared to such a small bulb such as the 8-watt version. So this will actually be more efficient probably in moving the heat away from the LED chips, as there's a larger surface area on the heatsink. So now we're just going to kind of take a look at the bulbs in action, and I'm just going to screw in the 16-watt A21 bulb in the socket here, and then we can kind of see how much light is coming out of it and then see how it's working in a regular input. So I'll just kind of screw it in here, and then we can take a look at the bulb in action. So I'll screw it in here. Okay. So as you can see here, the 5000K beam is kind of, you can see it's very close to natural daylight. It's very bright. Hopefully the camera's picking this up. It's really bright. As you can see, the quality of the light is good. If I hold another kind of object underneath, you can see that it's very clear. It's kind of just very white light. So 5000K is natural daylight. So the beam's like really effective and nice. So it's kind of, it could be used anywhere in your home. I'd kind of suggest more for task lighting or something, maybe in the garage or the kitchen, as it's kind of a big bulb. It's going to put out a lot of light, especially at a wide coverage beam angle, because the surface area is very wide as well on the face of the light. So the beam angle will be quite wide and the light coming out is bright. So it's kind of more for task lighting in comparison to, say, something so small like an 8-watt bulb, which kind of can be screwed anywhere around the home. So I'll just turn this light off, and then we can kind of swap them around and use the A19 in some other sockets and put them in some enclosed lampshades just to show them working as well. So if I turn this one off, as I turn this one off, I'll kind of swap the sockets, and then we can kind of put the A19 in a lampshade, and then we can kind of take a look at them in action. So as I turn the A19 on, so the A19 has just been turned on here. As you can see, it's really bright. I had to kind of move it away from my face. So the A19 is really bright, but we'll kind of put a lampshade on it in a moment. But I'm just kind of leaving it out here like this, so you can just kind of see how bright it really is. So again, it's 5000K, and the lumens for this one is around 1600. So I'll put the yellow lampshade over it first, so you can see it in action, and then kind of see what kind of effects you can use it for around your home. So as I put the kind of general yellow lampshade over it, you can kind of see it's a nice effect. I'll move the other stuff out of the way. So you kind of see it has a nice effect, especially within things like this, like kind of semi-enclosed cases. So the light of the light definitely won't be affected, especially in something like this, because there's still air coming in anyway. It will work in an enclosed as well, but it's kind of the easiest for it to work in this. So it's kind of going to work perfectly in a casing like this. This is actually kind of, you can use these kind of yellow lampshades around the home. It's kind of decoration. You can use it in a bedroom or a living room or kind of anywhere really around the home that you just kind of want a bright light, but it's kind of have like a decorative look as well. So I'll swap out this one and then put over a different kind of lampshade too. We'll have a white one. This will be a fully enclosed, so this is a fully enclosed lampshade that's going over the bulb. So this can be used kind of actually wherever you kind of need it to, as it's fully enclosed. Some people may use them on the porch, outdoors, or anything like this. The bulb itself can be used outside. It just needs to be covered in a fully enclosed lampshade or fixture. So just as long as it's fully enclosed, the bulb will be fine. The life won't be affected or anything. It's just they're not waterproof or IP rated. The IP may only be 20, so it can't be used outside on its own. It will need a cover. However, with these kind of white lampshades, you can use them all over the home. You can use them outdoors, kind of at the front of the porch, in the kitchen, or kind of in the living room or something, if you're looking for kind of like white light that isn't too bright. So if with this kind of lampshade, the light is coming out but it's kind of not overbearing as if you were to take off the lamp. If you were to take off the lampshade, if I was to take it off, the light is kind of overbearing. It's incredibly bright, so that would be more kind of task lighting. So like this is kind of just mood lighting or any kind of effect you're trying to get general in your home. So I'll kind of take the lampshade off again, so you can take a look at the beam without a lampshade on quickly, and then I'll turn it off, and then you can kind of see it in action again. So this is the A19 still. You can kind of see that it's really bright. To like your naked eye, it would definitely need a lampshade unless you're going to use it in a very wide area like a garage or something. So I'll just turn this light off. I'll turn this one off, and then we can kind of go back into some of the questions and details as well. So we're just going to cover some of the general questions we get about each of these bulbs on our page. So one of the most common questions we get about these bulbs, especially as they're enclosed fixture rated, is what is the lowest temperature they can be used in? We get this question a lot because it's kind of common, as they can be used outside on the porch or in the front of your home or something, just as long as they're enclosed fixtures, enclosed fixtures. So if you can put them outside, they just need to be covered away from kind of weather and stuff. So the lowest temperature these lights can be used at is -25. So this is actually a very low temperature, especially for any kind of light to be used outside. It's very low in comparison to traditional traditional lighting.